All right, real talk. When was the last time you made a move so bold it sent a shiver down your spine? Starting a company? Pitching to a room full of stone-faced investors? Or taking charge of a team on the verge of chaos? Here's the deal. Leadership is messy, it's wild, it's terrifying, and it's not about playing it safe. Nope, it's about guts, grit, and showing up when everything's on the line. Today, we're unraveling the game-changing secrets from Brené Brown's Dare to Lead. This isn't just another self-help spiel. This is your ultimate survival guide to leading with courage in the unpredictable, high-stakes arena of startups. Buckle up. This one's a shot of espresso for your leadership game. Before we dive in, let's talk about the legend herself, Brené Brown, a research powerhouse who spent 20-plus years studying what makes us tick as humans and leaders. Her TED Talk, The Power of Vulnerability, is basically the Beyoncé of TED Talks, racking up over 60 million views. Why? Because she gets us. She gets that leadership isn't about perfection, it's about showing up, flaws and all. If you're hustling in the startup trenches, her insights aren't just relevant, they're a lifeline. Let's get into it. Lesson 1. Vulnerability. Superpower. First myth to obliterate. Vulnerability isn't a weakness, it's your secret weapon. Brené calls vulnerability the emotion we experience during uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure. In plain English, it's being real. Look at Sarah Blakely, Spanx's mastermind. She had no clue about manufacturing when she started. Zero. Nada. Instead of pretending, she owned it, asked questions, and charmed people with her raw honesty. The result? A billion-dollar brand and a legacy built on trust. Startup leaders, listen up. Stop faking perfection. Own your struggles, share them, and invite your team into the journey. That's how you build loyalty and legends. Lesson 2. Clear is kind, unclear is brutal. You ever ghosted a tough conversation because you didn't want to seem harsh? Bad news. That silence? It's not kind, it's cruel. Brené's mantra is gold. Clear is kind, unclear is unkind. Take Jeff Bezos, love him or hate him, his feedback is crystal clear. When Prime launched with hiccups, Bezos didn't sugarcoat it. He laid out what was wrong and what needed fixing. Result? Prime became a global game changer. So if you're tiptoeing around the truth with your team, stop. Rip off the Band-Aid. Say what needs to be said, kindly but firmly. Clarity isn't just leadership. It's respect. Lesson 3. Embrace the chaos, aka the suck. Let's talk about the suck. Brené calls it like it is. Leadership is a grind. It's uncomfortable. Sometimes it downright sucks. But here's the kicker. It's where the magic happens. Think Elon Musk during SpaceX's dark days, exploding rockets, financial nightmares, public skepticism. But instead of throwing in the towel, Musk leaned into the chaos, learned from failure, and kept going. The result? SpaceX is literally reaching for the stars. For your startup, the suck might be a failed product launch or a public roasting on social media. Whatever it is, embrace it. Leaders don't just survive the storm, they dance in it. Lesson 4. Empathy. Leadership cheat code. In the hustle culture jungle, empathy often gets treated like a fluffy buzzword. Wrong. Empathy is your greatest weapon. Picture this. Your co-founder's performance tanks. You could snap, criticize, and pile on pressure. Or you could ask, what's going on? Maybe they're burning out or dealing with personal chaos. By stepping up with empathy, you create connection and a high-performing team. Brené's research proves it. Empathy skyrockets engagement and creativity. Leaders who listen don't just build teams, they build dynasties. Lesson 5. Courage is contagious. Here's the endgame. Create a culture where bold ideas thrive and failure isn't feared, it's celebrated. Brené calls it a culture of courage. At Pixar, they mastered this with a concept called plussing. It's simple. No tearing ideas down, just building them up. Even the wildest, craziest thoughts get a chance. The result? Some of the most iconic films of our time. For your startup, this means turning your team into fearless innovators. Encourage risk, applaud mistakes, and show, by example, that courage isn't optional, it's the standard. So there you have it. Brené Brown's fearless leadership formula, supercharged for your startup journey. Vulnerability? Unleash it. Clarity? Weaponize it. The suck? Embrace it. Empathy? Lead with it. And courage? Make it the heartbeat of your team. Now hit subscribe, smash that like button, and share this video with every leader who's ready to step up and shake up the game. Your next bold move starts here. See you at the top.